Speed.
I'll mark this
I
one
would
red.
never consider violating any of the local traffic laws.
Well, that's good to know. That's a test.
I don't see an icon for it. That's- Don't see an icon for it.
You may have to get from the app store. It's not under there. Okay.
Yeah, the dentist one, no?
Hi, doctor.
For the doctor, okay, sorry, no, eye doctor got canceled because,
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want it attached to your.
my daughter was sick with the flu,
Oh.
so we had to reschedule.
So keep the food side.
Well, he was gonna bring her today. Watch that.
I'm sitting in Dave's lap.
That's between you and Dave.
Brian, is calling in,
Oh.
who is,
I was worried about the. No, you didn't. We were scampering around, wondering, Lord, how would we do it without Tim here? Yeah, no, I get it. Ryan,
what's that drop?
stepping Ryan, yep.
Yeah, today was good, one day back at school, but I missed so much. You guys want to
Good.
take doctors, but to talk about.
Dave is on his way. Brian is joining. Who else?
Ryan's on, so it's,
Good afternoon, everyone.
hello, Ryan. Oops, sorry. Thanks for joining. Okay. I believe we are, yes.
Hi.
We've got everybody. Okay, you can stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Roll call, Mr. Berquist,
Here.
Ms. Dix,
Present
Ms. Harrington,
here.
Mr. Hilliard. Absent, Ms. Jones,
Here.
Mr. Pilatus,
Here.
Mr. Trot.
Here.
Wagner,
Here.
Mr. Willis.
Here.
Thank you.
Did everyone get to look at the minutes from our January 16th, 15th meeting? Any concerns? Motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Kim?
Ms. Dix.
Aye.
Harrington,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Pilatus,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Mr. Berquist.
Yes.
That's gonna take us to public comments. Is there anyone?
Just one, Mr. Jared?
Jerry?
How's everyone doing today?
Hey, good afternoon.
Before I start, I was just wondering if the board and or Erie Waterworks and or the solicitor has any comments about the recent developments in fluoride on a national scope?
That's a bit of a broad question.
With what the EPA is doing?
I believe the EPA is looking at it.
Fast tracking.
Yes,
So does the board have a comment on that?
we will follow the EPA's regulations and guidelines and the letter of the law.
So you're going off the EPA or other institutions?
Well, we're gonna go off the law.
Jared,
What is the law?
Jared,
I don't know,
Jared.
Jared.
this is an interrogation. You have comments to make concerning whatever your concerns are. Please make them. You're entitled to your 5 minutes. We're not gonna have that kind of conversation right now.
Does the solicitor have a comment on that?
It's not a legal issue.
So it's not a legal issue, but you're going off the law?
As the chairman have said, this is a opportunity for you to provide your opinion to the board so that they can hear you. It's a hearing of the citizens. It is not an engagement or question and answer session.
And that is the law or policy?
That is the law.
Is the law that you can't engage the citizens?
We're not required.
Jared,
Jared, please
no,
make your comment. Don't ask your questions.
I'm making comments.
Okay, good.
But I'll speak for myself. Okay. I appreciate everything you brought.
I appreciate what you do first and foremost.
I've read everything you brought. And I understand that you have concerns. I also appreciate that. From everything I've read, both from what you provided and from my own research, I haven't found any concern at the level of fluoride that we provide to the public. Nor is there any scientific backing other than a judge's ruling, who's not a scientist, right? About anything below 1.5%. 0.7 was the judge, right? He's not a scientist. So with that, my lack of putting up a motion is my response. I don't see a need to change at this time. That's me personally. I do not speak for the entire board, right? At the point where the law changes and we're required to act, or at the point where there is any scientific data that suggests the parts per million that we provide is a concern, that opinion may change. But as of right now, that's where I personally stand. The rest of the board is free to speak, but my lack of putting forward a motion is indeed a response.
And I thank you for being such an engaged board member and like being a leader on the board. I've definitely taken note of that over the last 11 months. So thank you for your service. You're like the type of person that we want to have. And with that being said, I've wanted to talk to all board members and I haven't had very much luck besides a couple. Mr. Wagner's been very helpful, very engaging, very fair. Mr. Berquist has, Mr. Pilatus has, Mr. Trot has, Mr. Hilliard, I don't know how to get a hold of. He's not usually here. Is he at the meeting right now or is he absent?
He's absent.
Okay, so last year he was absent, I think 6 meetings or was late to him. And I was just wondering if that's the standard of attendance that this board is striving for.
Mr. Hilliard, this is the first meeting he hasn't called in virtually. He's been virtual.
I'm talking 2025.
So am I.
And he was absent or was late to 5 or 6 meetings.
Okay. That being said, he acknowledged you called yesterday when I spoke to him, and he said he was going to call you back.
Thank you. And thank you for what you've done and what you continue to do for the community. I have no issue with you as a CEO, and I also am thankful that Erie has you. And I mean that. Like, obviously, everyone knows why I'm here, but I also appreciate Erie Waterworks and what everyone does. So once again, I will say, will the board members talk to me? Like, I don't know what else I have to do. I don't know who to call. I don't know what to say. So with that, I yield the rest of my time.
Can I make a comment? I think we've all are aware of your concerns. We've read the material you provided us, and we're certainly open to any type of education. But simply because you don't like the response you got doesn't mean that it's not an acceptable or appropriate response. And I would echo Jeff's comments. You may not hear what you want to hear, but that doesn't mean that anyone is not being diligent or paying
What I
attention.
don't want to hear is silence. And that's what I heard.
is there anyone else signed?
No, sir.
And I'll share this with you, shared it at the last meeting. We will continue to monitor legislation, scientific developments, and public health recommendations and guidelines. And that's what this board will do. And if it changes, if something happens with what's going on with the EPA and the Health and Human Services Director and what have you, and they come up with a different recommendation for what they consider to be safe with fluoride, will certainly fall into their recommendations, and I think we're already have done that. And I don't anticipate that there'll be any significant changes, and that's only my opinion. But that's my comment to you, and we will continue to do that in a professional manner and look at all the information that's available. So thank you, Jerry. Is no one else has signed up to speak?
Correct.
City council person. Would you like to have an opportunity?
I am the liaison once again for
Thank you.
this year. And I'm thankful to the board, and I have no questions or concerns.
And Kathy, we're glad to have you back. Yeah, look forward to this year. Okay, that's going to take us to the CEO report.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Paul.
Thank you, Chairman Wagner. Just starting out with employee engagement, just wrapping up first quarter department meetings. I meet with every department individually, all three shifts of operations, and it gives me a chance to kind of see people who I don't always see. The only meeting we haven't done yet is with the distribution department, and they have been extremely busy repairing water main breaks. It's been a harsh winter. And so February has certainly experienced more than average, and that's due to the sustained colder temperatures and the frost. So they're working very diligently. And so 2 weekends ago, we had 18 failures in 2 days. And you know, those crews repaired all of them. So they're really answering the call. We appreciate that. We also hired a new project engineer, Jessica McCracken. She'll be appearing at a future board meeting. She's actually been an intern of ours and will be graduating in May. And very similar to what we did with Hannah Barawa, who was already a project engineer with us. We you know, the seniors, they're looking for jobs, right? And so she's been a really great intern and loves water, was interested in staying on with us. And so she'll become part-time, and we'll start to expose her to the things that she'll be working with once she comes on board full-time in May. And so once she's able to come on full-time, we'll have her at the board meeting to introduce her. So that's good news, and leave it at that for now. Community engagement wise, we did get some news coverage for upgrades planned at our 12th Street facility. Kevin Flowers did a nice story, talked a little bit about water rates as well, did a little education. But we also did some proactive press releases regarding customer awareness, encouraging them to be prepared for winter. You know, we have dozens and dozens of customers who have called. We have frozen service lines, and so between plumbers and our own crews, we've been helping to alleviate that. And so whether it's exposing pipe under cupboards to warm air, insulating pipes, running a pencil stream and water at night to keep the water flowing, whatever folks have to do. So we got some good coverage on that from the news stations and Go Erie. Lisa Adams did a story about our you know, water main breaks as well. So definitely got some news coverage recently. I did want to make the board aware that we will be, the other thing, we asked customers to help keep fire hydrants clear. That's another thing that happens this time of year with the snow piles. And so some are able to do that and happy to do it. And so every little bit helps. But this year, we, as we always do, we'll be celebrating Drinking Water Week, May 3rd to the 9th. We have a number of different activities we're planning, but I did want to let the board know on May 7th, we will be having a ribbon cutting at the Asbury Tanks Pump Station facility, which really turned out great. So that's one of the activities we'll be doing. We are planning also a Water Week Festival at the Wojciechowski plant to include all sorts of activities and educational things for kids and the public. Some tours, things like that. So we are planning to go a little bit bigger this year. Relative to stakeholder engagement, I did have the opportunity to meet individually with both our new City of Erie mayor as well as our new county executive. So had good discussions about just talking about their priorities, our priorities, where we can collaborate, and look forward to new leadership and what that can bring.
Anything noteworthy?
Well, certainly with the county, we've talked about the McCain Business Park. They recently received about $3 million to help with infrastructure. And so that's certainly something that the county's been interested in advancing. I know the city, they have a comms team in place. And so Daria, offered to, where it makes sense, to where they can help get words out for us. For example, with the service line inventory, right? We sent out 27,000 letters, right? Not everybody's going to respond to that, but certainly through some creative things, they'd be willing to help out with that. So, I talked about some potential cost savings to put all of the billing services on one bill and some other things. So we really just kind of explored some opportunities. Got to know each other a little bit better as well. So. And then recently we met with Gannon personnel over at the Blasco Library, where the Center for Lake Erie Education and Research is. That's, if you haven't seen it, it's a great learning environment. Take the lawsuit, everything else out of it that seems to have been settled. The nature of it's great. We've talked about partnering on doing some exhibits that focus on, drinking water type things, whether it's the history, the treatment, so many different opportunities to educate in that space. And so we will be continuing to talk about that with them. So, and our friend Jared is volunteering and working at that facility. So he was there when we were there, helping people to understand what's going on there. So it's a great space. You should check it out if you have time. And then good news, we were awarded a nearly $225,000 Pennsylvania Small Water and Sewer Program grant from DCED. And that is to replace some variable frequency drives related to pumping and controlling pumping at our Wojciechowski water treatment plant. So that was really great news. We applied early in 2025 and it just heard recently. So that was great news, and Representative Bizzaro announced that. And then lastly, we do have pension committee meeting coming up this Tuesday, next Tuesday, I should say, February 24th at 11:30. So, and that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Sorry, remind me, the award for the variable frequency design. Are we also able to cover the original cost of the emergency ones we purchased with that, or is that still at our expense?
I think so.
Okay.
We're working to include that. Yes.
Okay. So no, we purchased some, we needed immediately.
We did.
Okay.
We did. Yeah, we were waiting for either the grant or to bid it, and we had a situation where we was too close, and so we bought one.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Good things for that.
I have one comment. We hear a lot of bad news in the Erie community, and I saw that Wabtec got $2.5 billion worth of contracts just recently, and they're one of our biggest users of water, and that's nice for the community and nice for Jim.
Hopefully we see some of that, right?
I mean, you saw a bit of it when we had a water main break in the middle of the plant, so that was all metered.
Oh, man.
That was all metered. I think I'm taking for all of that, yeah.
We appreciate it.
Sorry about the pressure surge.
Yeah.
That wasn't planned.
But that was great news for.
Yeah.
Any other comments for Craig? Okay. We'll move on to Mr. Palat. I'm sorry.
Is it possible to ask a question, Mr. Palmer? As an observer, thank you very much. My name is Leslie Alexander. I was just curious about going forward with the display in the library. Are you interested in a specific, like Erie focus take on drinking water? Or might you also be interested in a broader historical perspective, for example, from Britain and the Broad Street poem and the effects of typhoid and other things?
Well, I think it will probably be more localized. I mean, we have quite a history with, we were drawing water from the bay with over 100 people getting cholera and getting sick and sorts of things like that. But, the Erie City Water Authority, the commissioners of the waterworks originally were trailblazers in many different ways. So there's a whole lot of history that's specific to us. But generally speaking as well, I think there's just opportunity to generally inform, whether it's very specific to us, or, for example, lots of places are dealing with microplastics or other things like that. So I think it'll be kind of universal, but also somewhat specific. But they plan on changing exhibit, kind of their display. Some things will be permanent, but then there'll be some rotating things. Maybe it's once a quarter. So they're starting to develop what that could look like. What the major themes would be and all that. So I think the idea is we're gonna, we've said, yes, we want to work with you in trying to make that happen. So very conceptual at this stage, but certainly open to possibilities.
Yeah, one more question.
Sure.
Coming back to the age-old history, age-old topic of fluoride. If I were to do a literature review and offer information to the board, would I just email it to information@eriewaterworks.com, or would I bring in a stack of papers, or what would you like me to do?
You could email that and then we would make it available to the board.
Brilliant. And what would be the best email, Mr. Palmer?
Email me. You
Yeah.
can email.
Kim.
Don't even-
Thanks.
You have it.
I do?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to take us to the finance committee.
Well, I will review the meetings. Available. We had our meeting on February 17th. In attendance was myself, Mr. Berquist, Jones, and Mr. Wagner, Mr. Palmer, and Mr. Briller from the Waterworks staff. Total revenues for January were 4.2 million, or 99% of the budget. Total expenditures, including our debt service, was 3.9 million, or 95% of the budget. That allowed us a surplus of 207,000 versus a planned surplus of 43,000. And that was based on heavier water sales during the period, which is always good. Our debt service coverage is at 130% and remains above the requirement of 120%. As of January 31st, 2026, the total accounts receivable balance is 6.5 million, and the graphs are provided in your packet. Capital improvements expenditure report for the month of January, approximately 60,000 was invested in the water system. January's current funding related to planned future expenditures reflects a positive balance of 5.2 million at a month end. There'll be one resolution we're going to present, actually two. But first one is on the asset disposal of the 2008 truck, and then the check registers were reviewed for January 2026.
That's, I'm ready to go.
Any questions?
I have one. The connection fees appears to have been very much ahead of schedule. Is that continued? Is that expected to continue through the year? Or is that just a weird month?
It was a weirdly successful month.
Okay.
I mean, I had this, why is that so high? Like, that is high. Well, we had one developer in particular come in for at least a dozen different connections.
Okay.
And so, and then there were some larger connections, so the deposits fees were much higher.
Okay.
And so it was an unusual January, but you know, the plan that is, it's somewhat difficult. We know on average what we spend, but certainly for the month, it had exceeded normal expectations.
Well, that's what we spent, but like, more, this is income for us, right? Fees.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Question?
I think Seth may have had a question. I don't know
Ryan?
if he answered it, Seth.
Oh,
Well, Seth had his hand raised. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we can't
Ask
tell
his question.
when hands are raised. Sorry about that. You could just
Oh, you
speak
can.
up.
Okay. I was just, a similar question. I was gonna ask about, the cause of January's surplus and, for my own curiosity, I wondered if, maybe if the freeze had anything to do with it, the cold weather, due to running water or anything. I was just curious, but I think you mostly answered that.
I get that.
I didn't get everything, but the cold weather certainly would have impacted, not the connection fees or anything, but, you know, backfill, paving, things like that, certainly the overtime, wages, things of that nature.
Greg, I think this wouldn't have impacted the surplus, but I believe last January we had almost $800,000 invested on capital projects. Is it fair to say that the 60,000 was lower than anticipated? Maybe this Seth's question on the weather side, or was that what we kind of had baked in for January?
On what, the surplus? Is that?
The capital investments being at 60,000 this.
Oh, it's, no, the capital investments just, with most work being shut down and us recognizing, end of year expenses, you know, we had a pretty big December. You know, we ended up spending over 30.5 million, which was a record for us in 25. January always tends to be lower on the capital project spend. And even the first quarter, it takes a while to ramp up. The lead projects won't be starting for a bit. And so, you know, we usually see that happen.
Yep, that's what I assume. All right, thank you.
Another question.
So,
Ryan?
um,
Ryan, Jen? Okay.
that'll take us to page 10 of the packet. We're gonna have a asset disposal resolution number 021926-01. Resolved that the board of the Erie Water Works ratifies the staff decision to send the 2008 workforce crew truck to auction. Detached asset disposal sheet. This vehicle has ongoing problems and repairs are too costly. As a result, the truck will go to auction in accordance with the asset disposal policy. This is a recommendation of the finance committee and I so move. And if you remember, this is the truck that we voted on the replacement last month, and we're getting the price from the previous year still, which was a good deal for such a large piece of capital.
Any questions? Hearing none, Kim?
Harrington,
Yes.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Plavas,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Mr. Berquist,
Yes.
Ms. Ennis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then moving ahead to page 12, ratification of staff payments of invoices, resolution number 021926-02. Resolve the board of the Erie Waters ratifies the staff decision to make payments of invoices during the month of January 2026. The finance committee has received and reviewed a list of checks and electronic fund transfers that were processed during the month of January. The Finance Committee hereby recommends board ratification of the staff decision to make payments for these invoices, and I so move.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none. Kim?
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Pilatus?
Yes.
Mr. Trot?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Willis?
Yes.
Mr. Berquist?
Yes.
Dix?
Yes.
Ms. Harrington?
Yes.
Thank you.
Concludes the business of the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Pilatus. And it's going to take us to Mr. Willis, Capital Improvement Committee.
Mr. Wagner. We also held our meeting on February 17th. Attendees were Mr. Wagner, Ms. Dix, Mr. Trotz, and myself from the board, from the Erie Waterworks staff, Mr. Palmer, Mr. Ellsworth, and from KLH Engineers, Mr. Horvath. On the bids, co-stars, quotes, professional services, and proposals, construction bids were received for the service line replacement project, customer side requiring placement phase 4. The co-stars quotes in connection to that were received for additional materials. And Weber Murphy Fox provided an architectural and engineering services amendment due to the changes of the bid proposed for the 12th Street facility improvements. A resolution will be provided on all 3 of those in a single resolution. For the January financials, as previously mentioned, we had a slow January due to a lot of projects kind of in the wrap-up phase in 2025 and some more projects in the kickoff phase in 2026, combined with the cold weather having the asphalt plants shut down. So in total, in January, we spent $57,704 on capital projects, while pay-go equaled $2,000 for a total system investment this year in January of $59,704. Project updates. The Asbury pump station is substantially complete. As Mr. Palmer had mentioned, we just missed the opportunity for a ribbon cutting ceremony on May the 4th, which would, for the nerds in the room, be more appropriate, but we'll go May 7th. The 60 pump station, the Pinvest closing occurred on May 28th, and that'll kick off this year. The service side connections are all, substantially complete. So on phase 2, that project is 100% complete. On phase 3, that project is 40% complete to date, but expected to close in December of 2026. And customer service connections, replacement phase 4, is currently 63% and has an opportunity to potentially close this year if Shivers is able to make it happen. So there is a possibility by the end of 26, we may have indeed gotten all of the lead out of Erie services. And then moving forward, we're just going back to the galvanized required replacement for phases 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are currently phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 are awarded. And phase 4 is being proposed today as a resolution. That concludes the summary. Before we move to resolutions, are there any questions?
The celebration.
For which one? For the let out?
Yes.
We will actually get there. It could be this year. No promises. There's an opportunity. Okay, with that, moving to the resolution. Erie Waterworks award construction, co-stars, and professional services contracts, service line replacement project, customer side galvanized requiring replacement phase 4. The service connection replacement project phase 4, 12th Street facility building improvements, resolution number 021926-03. Resolved by the Board of Erie Waterworks, the Chief Executive Officer is authorized to enter into contracts and professional service agreements related to the following projects as listed below. Explanation, this resolution authorizes the award of contracts to the above referenced companies. Pinvest funded customer side galvanized phase 4 will allow for the replacement of approximately 1,200 service lines in the city of Erie. The Pinvest funded service connection replacement phase 4 project began in 2025, and current projections indicate more copper tubing is needed to complete all of the original scope. Thus, line 2 of the co-stars quote is approximately 13,400 feet of pipe or tubing, sorry. And the 12th Street facility improvements project design budget has increased due to expanded scope including the potential for solar panels in that building, that could offset up to 50% of the electrical cost and additional HVAC work for a larger portion of that building scope and new roofs. This is the recommendation of the CIP committee, and I so move.
Second.
Questions? No. Hearing none?
Mr. Claudius,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Mr. Berquist,
Yes.
Ms. Dix,
Yes.
Ms. Harrington,
Yes.
Ms. Jones.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that concludes the business of the CIP committee.
Thank you, Mr. Willis. That's going to take us to the HR
You want me to have?
committee. Yeah.
Certainly. Human Resources Committee meeting, we met on February 16th, 2026. Clean Water Works Board attended with Mr. Hilliard, Ms. Harrington, Mr. Willis, myself, and Mr. Wagner. The staff was Mr. Palmer and Ms. Stafford. Talked about employment activity. There's one new hire, project engineer, 2 internal promotions, and 1 internal transfer. 1 retirement and 2 resignations in January of 2026. And recruitment efforts are in progress for a GIS support technician, a GIS analyst, and 2 laborers. Collective bargaining agreement, Teamsters Local 397 resolved 3 grievances in the previous month. In the ASME Local 2206, the contract is ready for signature and will be printed and distributed soon. So that's very good news. Department updates, benefits, reviewed notable 2025 benefit expenses as well as strategies implemented to reduce benefit costs for the 2026 plan year. Administration Attorney McWassel retired after serving our labor employment counselor since the establishment of the Erie Waterworks as a municipal authority. So he knows where the bodies are buried. Attorney Julian Herzing is now our primary labor and employment counsel. And we understand that Mr. Wassel will still be in the area and available if we need him. Safety reports and training, there's been 1 vehicle accident and 0 recordable workers' compensation incidents in the first quarter. ARC flash training was held on 1/21/26. Training and chemical handling and the train the trainer for flaggers are scheduled in February and March. A month safety plan has been created to strategically address the OSHA gap analysis while aligning monthly department safety meetings, the safety committee, and focused review of policies and procedures. Speaking personally, the safety review in the program, I think is progressing very well. I think it was a great new hire. He's taken the reins and I'm seeing a lot of hands-on and safety improvement, especially the trainer program and our flash training are also very important. And I know they're taking a look at some of the chemical handling, which is very concerning to me as it is very dangerous. So great job there. Management compensation discussion, salary survey, and consumer price index data were presented to the committee to provide context for the recommended 2026 management compensation pool and salary structure. The committee recommends the resolution of the Erie Waterworks Board for consideration.
I was impressed to note that the 2 resignations were not because of any issues, but because the individuals were going in completely different directions. And so they were their choice, which I think is a great thing to hear. And also the information that was provided to us to support the resolution that you're getting from Abby was very impressive, very detailed, and very helpful. So.
I have a question. Is there an interview, a data gathering kind of piece for folks who are?
Have you turned credit for that?
Absolutely. Yep. There's always exit interviews. In the one case, the employee did not give 2 weeks and didn't show back up. So we usually get the exit interview. In that case, he left for an immediate opportunity and doing something completely different, became a lineman. And so we didn't get that one. But yes, retirees, anyone resigning. There's just a few cases where somebody refuses to do it, but generally people are willing to give input. So we absolutely get that input, and more times than not, there's useful information, so.
And I'd just like to chime in on what Heather said. The work that was done by Abby made it easy.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. And she is supervising our AHS manager. And so she kind of has that new challenge as well. And so she's doing a great job with that as well. So.
I'll take us to our resolution, year 2026 management compensation level adjustment and salary adjustments, resolution number 021926-04. Resolved by the Board of the Erie Water Works that effective April 1st, 2026, the management compensation level structure will be increased by 3% over the 2025 structures. Also effective April 1st, 2026, management staff will be awarded salary adjustments based on their individual job performance evaluation from a 3.5% pool of available funds. These recommendation adjustments are within the 2026 budgetary figures previously approved by the board. The increase to the compensation levels and salary adjustments are supported by a salary survey, consumer price index data that have been presented to the Human Resource Committee and are consistent with the Erie Water Works employee compensation procedures. This is a recommendation of the Human Resources Committee, and I so move.
Second. Any questions? Hearing none, Kim?
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Mr. Berquist,
Yes.
Ms. Fix,
Yes.
Ms. Harrington,
Yes.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Flux.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Conclude the HR committee report. I don't believe there's any old business. That's going to take us to Mr. Wachter and the solicitors.
Thank you very much. I am happy to report that the filing for the Local Government Unit Debt Act approval with DCED was in fact filed today. So that is good. We are not behind in the overall timeline. Shall proceed towards closing as is appropriate. Closings for phase 3 did in fact take place. I see that I have the same project listed twice. We did not close on phase 4 on January 28th. We closed on 6B on January 28th as well. Mr. Wagner had called me today and asked a very good question, which made me realize two things. Number one, maybe I need to be a little more descriptive in some of the items. And number two, I'm happy somebody actually reads the report. With respect to the right-of-way license through the state park, there is a 60-inch right-of-way that goes to Presque Isle State Park that is time limited through DCNR. We're just going to be reapplying for that. DCNR has, their authorizing legislation has changed, and the next license we have for our pipe to go through the park will be a permanent license. There will be no time period associated with that. So hopefully this is the last time we ever have to do that. I've just been working on compliance and very administrative and right to know matters, and it's been a good month.
And Tim, I got just one thing to add that you told me when we were talking. The first license that we received was for 50 years.
I checked, I think it was 35.
Okay, 35, okay. So
I think this one was 35 years, so I couldn't find Tim Sennett's file on it. But we'll start fresh.
Well, back then they had cabinets. They got paper.
What? Whoa, there's these things called books. They open like this.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And Matt Green from the park emailed me and said, hey, there's a run out. Do you still need it? I said, well, we do, because that's one of our intake pipes and we're not removing it. But I said to him as well, I said, we used to own that property. I don't know when it actually all got worked out, but now we have a permanent easement that was expiring at the end of the year. And then once we get this done, it'll be permanent there. So.
Cheryl, you had a question?
Yes, I sort of lost the correction or the edit that was referred to. I think there was something.
The third item, galvanized service line replacement phase 4, that should be the Penn Best 6B project. That was closed on January 28th, not phase 4. Phase 4 is the one that we'd applied for approval today.
So that will, under correction, be listed as 6B.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
And that take us to new business. Any new business, anything? Anybody? Okay, that will take us to adjournment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Seth. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
Write it down, sign your name.
Please, I want to sit here longer. That's.
You don't have to go home.
So.
Just can't stay here.
Yeah. You can stay here. I mean, I think we're open until 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.